Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Bull. I hope that everyone had a great night's sleep last night. But I want to know, how did y'all feel waking up as national champions? I woke up feeling great. I'm sure that y'all did too. But let me know down in the comment section. I woke up with an extra pep in my step, and I might not have slept that much last night. Probably only about 3 to 4 hours. Just all of the excitement and all that. I tried to go to sleep, but it's just hard to. I kept on waking up, going straight to social media, seeing different videos, seeing what people had to say. Even on message boards and all that type of stuff. So let me know how y'all's night went. Let me know how y'all felt waking up this morning. Let me know how y'all's whole day has been as national champions. And in today's video, we're just going to be kind of recapping the entire World Series tournament, starting off with that Florida State game, that first Florida State game. And we'll just kind of highlight each critical moment right through every single game. We'll just go through it and we'll talk about how we got to this point as national champions. We also, just very briefly, I want to let everyone know, if you did not already know this, that Trey Poteet, the three-star cornerback from Wisconsin, has committed to our Volunteers. So that's huge news. He's a very versatile secondary piece. I think that he could play corner, star, but really safety, to me, fits him the best. And I will have his film breakdown out maybe tonight, like late tonight, if it does come out tonight, but more than likely at some point tomorrow. We still have to do Charles House as well. So both of those should be out for y'all tomorrow. And as always, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. You can become a member by clicking that join button below. That's a great way to support this channel. But really, the best way to do that is by scanning that Cash App barcode in the top right-hand corner with your smartphone. That is the best way to donate to this channel, to help us grow. And we greatly, greatly appreciate all of the members and everyone that has been donating. It is helping us out tremendously. Let's go ahead and jump into this thing. All right, so we'll be starting off with the first game versus Florida State. And just to kind of set the stage for everybody, we were the number one team coming into the tournament, right? Coming into the whole tournament, not just for the World Series, but we were the number one team for pretty much like the last part of the season. And we were very dominant, okay? We were dominating everybody. And we all know that there's a curse that the number one seeded team has not won the College World Series since 1999. We all know that we're going to go on to break that curse. But also another part of this is Tennessee hits a whole bunch of home runs coming into this game. Now at Omaha, the field is 15 to 20 feet bigger. And people were asking, can Tennessee come out and still hit the home runs? Can we still win? Can we find a way to win? And also, Florida State looked like our best matchup, okay, like our toughest matchup. And they've got a really good pitcher. They've got an ace in Jamie Arnold. So there were a lot of question marks surrounding this game before it started, but we'll go ahead and let this thing roll.
Playing on day one here. Moore rockets one toward the gap in right center field, and that will get toward the wall. Christian Moore motors around.
All right, so I'm going to pause it right there. What we're seeing, just to start this thing off, is Simo's cycle. So Simo is the second player in College World Series history to hit for the cycle. The first and only other player was back in like 1955 or 1956, something like that. So this is a really big deal. This is just his first at-bat, and it's a triple. So he starts the game off the right way. We all know how important that is for the leadoff guy in a situation that has all these question marks, surrounding it for our team. For him to come out and perform the way that he did was huge for us in the bottom of the first.
Second, on his way to third with a leadoff triple. 95 coming in, 110 going out. He's got a man aboard with 2 outs. The 1-2 is pulled down the left field line. That's a fair ball into the corner for Chris.
All right, so this is his second hit. This one right here, I believe, is a double. Now, what we see right here is our guy, Cal Stark, rounding third base. Once he gets to home plate, he's going to be dead to rights. He's going to be out by like a mile, but watch what happens right here. This is what you want to see whenever you are looking to win a championship. It's not always just about having the best team. Yes, you need to have a very good team, but to win championships, the ball needs to kind of bounce in your favor some, and we're going to see that throughout this entire video.
Christian Moore, Cal Stark, rounds third. Throw to the plate from Lodies is a dart. Ball pops away, and Stark scores. Third, not in time to get Moore.
And as y'all can see right there, the ball actually bounced out of the catcher's glove. So that's huge, right? Whenever you see those types of things, you have to know that you're in a really good spot to win the whole doggone thing. And at that point, I said, man, Tennessee's destined to win it right here, right now.
2-2. Sprayed toward right field, and it drops in a base hit for Christian Moore.
So that was just Simo's third hit, okay, gets to first base. So we know that now he's got a third, he's got a double, then he's got a single right here. What do you think's coming? Oh, and then again, like I said, really big field, okay, going up against a good pitching staff. And this one right here is a no-doubter from the time that it leaves his bat.
3-1. Moore tags it on a line to center.
Oh, wow.
Williams goes back, and it's gone!
Hey, something else too. I love that little Euro step. I'm going to be doing that forever with all of our sports, period. And I don't care if it's baseball, if it's football, if it's basketball. I'm hitting that Euro step whenever we have a big play in honor of Simo, one of the all-time greats at the University of Tennessee.
Michael for Christian Moore, the second in men's college World Series history.
Well, he said he wanted to be a legend. And I would say Christian Moore has done just that.
This is, we presume, Christian Moore being told about history. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Simo actually did say right before this game, they had interviewed him like right before the first pitch. And he said, man, look, you know, I want to go down as a legend at the University of Tennessee. And he most definitely is. I mean, I think, you know, I don't know about a statue, but maybe, you know, I think that he's most definitely worth it. But there's a few players on this team. Maybe just build a statue of the whole team because it's that special, it's that important. But seeing his reaction right here, I think is, I mean, it's very, very telling, right? Like he's so locked in that he had no idea that he was about to hit for the cycle. That's usually whenever you break these sorts of records because it's so difficult to do, especially on this stage, in this setting. Could not be prouder of the way that he performed, especially in Game 1 of the College World Series.
Pitched as a freshman, but it was up and down last year. This is launched to right by Tiers. Tibbs spins around, and it's gone.
All right, so that right there looked like it was at the bottom of the fifth. You see that we're down, but that was really big because we were struggling at the plate. We needed some runs, but this right here kind of gets that momentum back going for us. That was huge by Tiers to be able to knock another one out. And then again, it's giving us more confidence in our game, playing our brand of baseball where we can hit that freaking long ball, where we can, you know, drop bombs on folks, which is what we do. So I love to see that. I think that that was another big spark that tends to kind of get overlooked, but we will look back on it probably for years to come. Hopefully we don't overlook it and we'll say that was a really big spot right there to help us ultimately win this game and then win the whole doggone thing.
Two-run shot, Kavaris Tiers for Tennessee in the fifth.
Well, that gets them back in striking.
And that's also versus their guy right here, Jamie Arnold. This is the guy that a lot of folks were kind of scared of. And I'm not talking about players on the team or anyone probably surrounding our team. Of course, we're going to, you know, respect who we're facing. But I think that as fans, we're looking at his ERA and all that and the way that he had been pitching and dealing out there. We said, man, we don't know what's going to happen with it. Can we continue to perform at a really high level versus this high level of talent? And we most definitely did.
Distance right there. A loud swing of the bat by Kavaris Tiers.
It's 2-2. Hold, pass Farrow into right field, a base hit. Whitaker's 2-2.
So that one right there was critical because we are in, I believe, the eighth inning, like the bottom of the eighth. You see that we have two outs, but for Blake Burke to be able to get on base, that was big. Now let's see what we have right here.
Bouncing ball. Smith
Okay.
charges and no play.
So that was big just because, you know, to be able to get on base with a little blooper like that, again, the ball is bouncing in our favor. This is how we know it's starting to get real. A lot of folks had kind of given up on our Vols at this point. I hate to admit that, but it's true. I wasn't one of them. I never give up on my team ever. I don't care until the fat lady sings. This game ain't over with. But let's keep on rallying.
The 1-1. Other way.
Beautiful.
Falling fast, and it's down for a base hit. Burke to the plate.
And that was Dreiling. So again, this is in the bottom of the eighth, but Dreiling coming up, I believe that was Dreiling. Anyway, making that hit right there, and, you know, just bringing people on around, huge for our comeback efforts.
Throw is cut, and it's a 3-run ball game in the 8th inning. Starter Jamie Arnold in the air center field. Diamez Ross into the game, goes back, spins around, and can't make the catch. Tiers is out.
So that right there got us going in the bottom of the ninth whenever we have to win. I believe we came into the ninth down by like 3 points or something like that. So that was huge. And just the way that the ball kind of goes over that center fielder's head, again, you can tell, like you can start to kind of tell what's going on here. Things are going our way.
Third to begin the ninth. California. His 1-2 in the ninth. 2-2. Who's payoff? Back onto the track and it makes the catch. Tiers tag.
So that was really big because that's a true freshman up there, you know, batting for us in Dean Curley, right? Very patient at bat. I love the way that he carried himself throughout this entire tournament. He was really probably our best, you know, like maybe like the most patient hitter. Like he did a really good job of working these pitchers. And that's huge. Like, you make them pitch a lot, you make them throw you strikes, you wait for your pitch. He did a really good job of that. Right here, he gets an RBI for his efforts. That's huge. It brings us within within one more point closer to Florida State.
Eggs and scores. People squares. 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Back foot and it missed in the postseason.
So that was big right there. So that was, that was a designated hitter for us. And we had kind of been struggling with our designated hitters throughout this entire tournament. And I believe that was Chapman. So, he comes in and he's patient at the plate, gets on base, and we're going to see how that pays off for us. Now we got Cal Stark up to the plate.
Cam Smith approaches. Moore represents the tying run. The 1-0, 2-0, at the 2-1, with a 2-2 to Moore. 2-2 again. The payoff. Moore laces it to left field. That's a fair ball into the corner. Peebles races to third and stops there. And the tying run is in scoring position.
All right, so I had actually said before that it was Chapman, but it was Peebles. But right here with 2 outs, seeing, the star of our team, the leader of our team, get a hit like that down the third baseline, get a double. And yeah, I mean, that's huge just to kind of keep us going. We're going to keep on rallying and we're going to keep on fighting. Like he said at the plate earlier in this game, let's fight, let's fight. And he does.
First pitch, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-2.
Right there, boom, okay? We'll pause it right here. A whole lot of controversy was surrounding this check swing by Blake Burke. And I did take a look at the rules and the letter of the law. And based off of that and what I'm seeing right here, some of y'all are, y'all might not like to hear this, but our Volunteers are national champions, baby. We just won the whole doggone thing, and none of this even matters, okay? Hopefully nobody even thinks back to this, but you don't want to end the game on this, like in all seriousness, as an umpire, because I have umpired before, you don't want to end the game on a situation like this. You just don't. You want for the game to kind of, I don't want to necessarily say end itself, but this was a situation where you could tell that he didn't really mean it. Like, he didn't really mean the swing. But as far as the bat has to go past his hip, it really depends on your vantage point. I don't know if that is past his hip or not. I'm going to say that it's not. So Volunteers are national champs, baby.
Did not go. And now a 3-2. Payoff pitch. Burke back up the middle, base hit into center. Peebles score.
Obviously, that's really big. So I also want to talk about this because Blake Burke early on in this game had not been playing well. There was, really like in that third inning, Florida State comes back and scores a whole bunch of runs, and that's how they got off to that big lead. And some of that, I mean, I wouldn't put it all on Blake Burke, but some of it, was kind of on some errors that he had and just kind of misjudging how to play certain situations. And he just was not playing well up to this point. But that right there, him getting on base, in such a critical situation was huge. And I think ultimately he's going to end up making up for it at the end of the day.
Behind him, we're tied.
Simo scores the game time run, like the commentators just said.
3-1. Amick pulls it into left field, a base hit. Again, it is.
That was nice right there. So Amick getting that hit, he hadn't necessarily been struggling, but wasn't really playing great. He was playing pretty decent up to this point, but that was big. Just keep us going. The top of our lineup, our guys, doing a really good job. So that's huge right here that is talking about how difficult it is to win the College World Series if you lose game one.
Really hard to lose your first game here at the Men's College World Series and go all the way to win the 1-0. In the air, left center field. Ross on the move, won't get there. Tennessee walks it off.
I got to pause it right there. That's unbelievable. Dylan Dreiling throughout this entire thing, super clutch. Okay, so he hits the game-winning RBI, right? We just talked about. Simo ties it up, and then Blake Burke has the game-winning run. Cannot make it up, could not write it any better. If it was a movie, beautiful. All right, now on to game 2 versus North Carolina. This is a team that coming into it, I felt very confident about. I think that most of All Nation did. It was a team that, we matched up very well with. Now, they've got some really good players. They've got guys that can hit for power. They also do a pretty good job of stealing bases. They know how to play ball, but we felt like our pitching unit was going to be better than theirs, and we thought that that's why we should end up winning this game. But this is one that, for me, from start to finish, it was never in doubt. It was never in question by any means.
For one pick, Charlie Condon. On the ground sharply at second, and Christian Moore can defend as well, but Berg was off the bag.
All right, so on this play, right, it's very early on in this game, and you see that no one scored yet, but this is such a big deal because this was called safe by that first base umpire, and this is actually going to end up being an out. But I love what Blake Burke does right here at 6'3", 240 pounds, being able to stretch, keep his foot on the bag, and make this out. That is beautiful. That's what you need in these types of big-time games.
Harbor's on.
He was definitely off at some point. Was he on when he caught it? Did he get back before Harbor got there? There was definitely a period of time as you see more slip.
Overturned to out.
0-2.
Sorry.
And D'Onofrio lifts it to center. Hunter Ensley bolts back
It is.
on the move. Whoa! And makes the catch! Somehow hung on.
We're just not used to seeing it carry to center field like that. And I think Ensley was thinking the same thing when he started. Then he had to put the Jets on, Berger.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to pause it right there. But this right here is going to be one of the highlights forever. We'll see this a million times for the rest of our lives. This was a huge play. It was a huge moment. It kind of helped us to, you know, I would say kind of like sparked our team. But it's really, really big, obviously, for him to go out, make this catch, and just pretty much be unconscious, not even thinking about the wall being right there. And I think, you know, it did kind of put him out for the following game. But what we're going to see right here is once he does run into that wall, that eye black, that's, you know, there's probably gonna be like a picture that some people might have a picture of that inside their man cave, things like that, just because it's going to symbolize giving your all for Tennessee for years to come. So that's a really big play by Hunter Ensley. Very proud of the way that he performed out there this night.
It was a great jump, and then it wasn't top gear, and then it was like, oh goodness, I gotta go.
Felt like 98 at first pitch.
All right, so y'all might not have caught what he just said, so I'm gonna play that back, but pay very close attention to what the commentator's saying, and then watch what happens.
Felt like 98 at first pitch.
Felt like 98 at first pitch. Felt like 98. Boom.
Tears ropes one into right. Back toward the wall. Gone!
All right, so commentators say felt like 98, and then Tears hits that bomb. Another reason, you know, like another point in this game when I said, man, or another point in this World Series tournament when I said, yeah, things are definitely going our way for sure. That was huge right there. That was a really big hit. You know, that was another thing that just kind of sparked us, you know, at least sparked our bats. Inslee's whole deal right there with that out, that was big for the defense. You know, I think it was big to give Beam a little bit more confidence up there pitching to say, man, my teammates really do got my back. But once you see one of your teammates hit the ball out of the daggum park, hit it over the fence, that is when I feel like, you know, if you weren't having a whole lot of confidence before, you might kind of start to get it going. And that's what we're going to see here.
Happy Father's Day.
That right there put us up 3-0. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that it was 2 runners on base. Still kind of early in this game, but man, this is the freaking World Series. So it's pretty much, it's not do or die necessarily, but it almost is. Game 2 is almost just as important as game 1. That was huge.
Oh, like Tony said, once the adrenaline wore off, you felt it.
Reese Chapman obliterates that baseball.
So right here, this one is Chapman, and he is the designated hitter. And, you know, seeing him doing this, right? Because, again, having some troubles with our DHs pretty much throughout the entire tournament, but especially, I feel like, in the World Series. Just we're not playing well. But this is really big. Whenever we have our DHs, guys at the bottom of our lineup doing this type of stuff on this sort of a field in this moment, I mean, forget about it. The game was over with for me at this point.
4-0.
Reese Chapman being in the lineup is called a head coach playing a hunch. How about 1 for 14 with 8 strikeouts in the postseason up to that point? Left on left, Tennessee stretching out with Drew Beam looking awful good right now with a 4-run lead.
We're being told there is an umpire change happening.
I'm going to pause it right here at this point for y'all just because, yes, the umpires did kind of have to change. I believe that the first one had some heat exhaustion issues, things like that. So, you know, I believe that in this game as well, we were a little bit like, man, the umpire strike zone is not that great. Or maybe it was great and we were concerned about the new one coming in. I don't too much remember that, but if y'all do, please remind us down in the comment section.
Carolina. They've got D'Onofrio, who is speedy. The throw, the tag.
Beautiful job right here by Kirby of catching this guy, getting him into a pickle because, again, North Carolina is a team that does like to steal bases. So really good job, right? This is a really nice move. And for him to be gutsy enough to try to steal, on a left-handed pitcher from first base, I think that says a lot about their team. But, I mean, we've kind of seen that throughout the entire World Series. But this was a really huge play for us for sure.
They got him. 2 down. Bouncing ball up the middle. Curly for 2.
Great job right there by Curly getting 2 outs on his own. Again, he's a true freshman. I love the way that he's playing out there with, he's playing within himself. He's playing like a veteran. Really, really nice work out there.
Carolina's had comebacks in them. What do they got today? As Anthony D'Onofrio grounds one at Christian Moore. Wow.
May see that one a few more times tonight.
That was beautiful, right? So that backhand, kind of throw it up under your arm or whatever. But what I really love is what's coming up next. Blake Burke, again, stretching, scooping, making a really big play at first base, pretty much to end this game. That was all she wrote after this, y'all.
That was kind of smooth on both ends right there,
It
KP.
was way smooth on both ends. Yeah, I think Carolina's going to just make sure that.
Watch him change his momentum, slide to the outside of the base here.
Confirmed.
All right, so now on to game 3, okay? This is the rematch versus Florida State. And, again, there was some controversy surrounding game 1. So they were kind of talking, I don't know if their players and coaches was, but a lot of their fan base was. Y'all already know how that goes. So this was a big one. Some Vol fans might have been a little bit nervous coming into this game. But for me, I said, look, we're the better team from top to bottom. We're going to win this game. I'm really not too concerned. But it does, we're going to see how things play out. I'm very proud of the way that we came out and handled our business, because we could have kind of bought into what whenever I say we, I'm talking about the team, they could have bought into what the fan base was saying and thinking, but they ignored all that outside noise.
Christian Moore leads it off that cycle Friday. Saw Tony Vitello's team coming up.
What we're going to see right here, y'all, just to let you know, beforehand in the first inning is us scoring 3 runs, getting off to a hot start, getting off to a really fast start. That's big. Now, we are the visiting team in this game as opposed to the home team like we was in last game. So let's go ahead and let this thing roll.
A win Sunday against North Carolina.
Oh, let me pause it one more time real quick. So that was pretty big just to see Simo get back on base, because towards the end of that North Carolina game, he kind of started to struggle, kind of getting into a little bit of a slump. But with him being our leadoff batter, you want to see him get on base. Usually whenever he does, we have a lot of success right behind it.
On the ground sharply and past Daniel Cantu and into right. Christian Moore goes first to third, and Tennessee's in business right out of the gates. The freshman deals on the ground to third. Cam Smith, a slight bobble, and it's just 1 and a run scores.
The ball going.
There's another situation where kind of an error, the ball's bouncing around inside of the other team's gloves, and we're getting on base, and we're also scoring. So ball's bouncing in our favor, y'all.
Right down the line. Of course, on Sunday, left that game early, and he pulls one into left field, and that's a base hit toward the line. Amick scores, and Hunter Ensley delivers.
So far in Omaha.
Bounces one up the middle, and Drew Thoreau in a high hop. They get the out anyway.
There's another one. That one very easily should have been 2 outs for Florida State, but the ball bounces our way, and we do a really good job just of running through first base and all that type of stuff. Just playing hard, playing with that maximum effort. That's really big.
Oh, this one gets away, and it leads to Dreiling scoring. 3-0 Tennessee.
All right, and here, okay, so we see that they try to pick us off at first base, and it's an errant throw. So we're able to take advantage of that. That's really big. This, at this point, I feel like all of All Nation felt very confident in our chances to go on to the finals.
Boy, that is not what you need when it looks like you maybe, as you said, Mike, have a chance at least to minimize the damage.
The 1-1. Dingus in the air, center field. Tears goes back into the alley, on the move, and hangs on!
Another one, right? So we just saw Ensley do it last game. Now Tears does it this game. And for those of y'all that don't know, Hunter Ensley was not playing in the outfield in this game because he was struggling with something from running into the wall in the previous one. I don't know if it was a head injury or if it was like a lower body. It was something that was going on with him. So we moved Tears to center field, and he does a really nice job right here. Now, Chapman did struggle a little bit in right field. That's something that we're not going to see on this film, but I think that it's important to kind of point that out. just for the rest of this thing. Y'all are going to see how important it is for us to have all of our guys on deck and ready to rock and roll. But this was a huge play. Got us all fired up, got those juices flowing. And again, y'all, if it wasn't already over, I mean, at this point, it most definitely is.
Wow. Just like Connor Ensley, Kavaris Tears up to the task.
Boy, does he get it? And this is a kid that typically plays right field. But now in center field, I tell you what, watch this move right here. He's chasing this ball and collects it. Head snap, because what happens when you have a big head snap, you jerk your shoulders from time to time.
Christian Moore bobbles and sails it. Lodi's to third, throw to second, and they get Faroe.
So that was huge, just because Simo had kind of been struggling out there in the field. And, that was a time when he probably could have made a very easy, play, whether it's a double or a single. I think it might have been 2 outs at this point. But either way, he, fumbles that baseball. Then he makes an errant throw to first. But Blake Burke does a really good job of just staying with it. And I also like the way that Dean Curley is able to get himself into a good position, make the catch, even though the ball was thrown right to him, and get that out. So that was really, really big. That was a huge play. That was another really big turning point in this game.
Two dudes on.
Take what defense gives you, right? Middle infield playing back, just like that. So that'll play to run or it might.
Early to the plate. Tag applied. And
So you know what? That last one might have been the first out. I feel like that might have been the third one. But either way, y'all, at this point right here, we see that Florida State had runners on third and on second. The ball comes to Dean Curley, talking about him again. Really headsy move to go straight to home plate, make a very clean stop right there, and a great throw. And we're able to get this out to save that run. That helps us out big time.
West is out. Not sure how great a jump he got from third on that high chopper that Ben you thought was going to turn into a run.
Yeah, he hesitated.
Tibbs bouncer to first, to the bag. Burke's throw. Just like that, the inning's over. Run did not score.
Really nice play right there by Blake Burke. Great job of making that play, turning two on his own pretty much. That's beautiful. That was almost unassisted.
In time, it didn't appear. A walk, a single.
Mentioned earlier, Triple Crown winner.
1-2. 70th pitch from Oxford. 2-2 with 2 strikes. Sprays this one down the right field line into the corner. Christian Moore continues to hit. Cal Stark gets waved around third, and he will score on a triple from Christian Moore. Dinges pulls this left field. Dreiling turns around and makes the catch.
So this right here is one that a lot of people are probably going to be overlooking. But, I mean, that's 3 of our starting outfielders pretty much running into the wall to make a play. I actually think that this one was the most dangerous just because of the way that the fence is kind of set up right there. You've got the lower fence, that like green piece right there. Then you've got the upper part of it, more of that like chain link or whatever that is. That's more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You can run into that, and I mean, a whole bunch of things can happen. But again, our guys are unconscious, giving their all for Tennessee. That's a really big one, and I hate that it will probably end up being overlooked because of the other 2 really good catches that we had. But let's not forget about Dreiling's big play out there in the outfield.
Dinges has been robbed twice. Double his last time in the third. Pulls this one sharply at second, and Christian Moore makes the play.
Okay, Simo, been showing off.
Really nice stop right there by Simo. I think that this one was big because it felt like, to me anyway, that it gave him a little bit more confidence out there in the field. He makes a very tough play. He makes it look easy. That was huge, I feel like, for us moving forward, because obviously you need for your guys to be able to field and just kind of make the routine plays routine. So that was dope to see.
With the bat all week, this one right here pretty smooth now. Ball hit 107 miles an hour anywhere to the backside.
Amick, that way, fair ball past Smith down the left field line. Billy Amick's got a 2-out double. Pulled sharply past the dive of Faroe into right. Amick to the plate, Tibbs throw. Does not get him. 6-0.
So that was nice, right? First off, we see Billy Barrows getting on base with 2 outs. Beautiful hit, okay? Gets a double. And then we see Dreiling coming up again with 2 outs, being clutch, just being Mr. Clutch at all times, and then driving in another run to put our balls even further ahead. And I believe that was the bottom of the 7th, or it might have been in the top of the 7th.
2-1. Smith bullets one off Connell's glove. Wow. More to the bag. 2.
This is just another case of the ball bouncing our way, right? It bounces off of Kirby's glove, and then obviously, that ended up helping us out. I think that if Kirby doesn't put his glove up there, that's probably going to be, at least a single for sure. But it turns into a double play because it bounces pretty much right to Simo. That's how things go whenever you are a championship team. If you're about to win a championship, everything pretty much just goes your way.
I mean, Florida State just cannot catch a break in this one.
May from an injury, pitching in relief as Burke launches right center field and gone, crushed by Blake Burke for number 20.
So that was big right there, just because Blake Burke becomes the 5th player on our team to hit 20 home runs. And, before we already had the record with 4, but now having 5, I think that was huge. And also the way that ball was pitched, it's low. You can see Blake Burke's strength. And it just kind of, again, it's just putting more and more nails into the coffin for Florida State in this game.
Might be a lot of balls you want to throw him, but that's not where you want to throw it to a typical left-hander right there. A little bit down, a little bit in, and Blake Burke just goes down and puts his nose on this one. And I'm telling you what, we've seen some long ones here. I don't know if any's any longer than that one.
All right, so now on to game 4, but this is actually game 2 of the Texas A&M series. And we're not going to look at game 1. I don't think that there's any point to. We lost that game. There was a few little highlights, but for the most part, we just did not play like ourselves. And it really looked like Texas A&M's pitching was incredible. I think that it's going to be good throughout this entire series, but we will go ahead and jump into this one. Let's let this thing roll.
Right back up the middle and almost got the big horse. And that's a great start for Christian Moore in Tennessee.
So that was really big. Every single time that Simo comes up, and, at this point, because in the previous game versus Texas A&M, I don't know if he got a hit at all. I mean, he struggled a lot, but our entire team struggled batting versus their pitchers. So for him to come out, for him to get a hit early on, really big for the confidence of this team. Like I keep on saying, if he can't do it, maybe some of the other guys feel like, well, we can't do it either. But whenever he shows that he can, I feel like that gives us a lot more confidence. So that was huge for us just to start this one off in a, win or go home, win or it's all over type of a situation, especially for these seniors. Really big.
With 2 strikes, he sends one back up the middle.
A breaking ball that just kind of doesn't dive enough.
Numbers here in Omaha on Monday. Popped up. Moore going out, still going out. Tears, who's in right, comes in.
Right there. I'll just put this in there because for those of y'all that could think back to this play, I thought that it was pretty big. I think that it kind of, got out some of the nerves that we had just because it looked like they was able to kind of talk about it and laugh about it, kind of joke about it, all that. But that could have been horrible. Like, I mean, if they would have ran into one another and, the ball drops, I think that things go a completely different way. But the simple fact that they know each other well enough and that they're smooth enough to still make that play, that's huge. And also, I don't know if Tears was maybe calling Simo off or not. It looked like he wasn't, but that just goes back to the nerves. So I think that right there really helped us to kind of, get ourselves going and not be playing too tight.
And Christian Moore picked it.
Ball, it's out.
That's a big pitch. That is 2-2 on the ground. And they will go to first. And Camarillo's throw is in the dirt.
This one is really big just because, again, digging it out, right? Playing with maximum effort. Things, sometimes luck kind of tends to be on your side whenever you do things like that. And this is just an error by Florida State, but it was huge for us, obviously, in the game that we have to win. So it was also big to see Cal Stark be able to get on base because he was struggling, I mean, in a really, really major way. But that was big to see.
Burton could not scoop it.
Wow, look, this pickoff move is filthy. It's ridiculous. We were kind of doing this to them all day, or maybe not all day, but we did this to them, I want to say a couple of times. But this is nice.
Almost had him, and Burke's pointing right to his dugout.
Oh, that was an A-plus move right there by Drew Beam, KP.
A-plus move, A-plus pick. Burke is really good at that, man. He gets on the glove side, and that tag gets on so quick.
Overturned to out.
He knows exactly.
Yeah, and like the commentators were just kind of saying right there, that was really big, not also by Beam, not just by Beam, but also by Blake Burke. He does a really good job of getting that ball, getting that tag down really quick and hard, all that type of stuff. So that was a really, really nice play. I think that it makes Texas A&M have to respect that pickoff move. And it probably saved a few bases for us for sure.
What's on the line?
Shot on the ground. That's a great play there by Burke. He goes to second. Wow, Blake Burke with a terrific play.
Great play right here by Burke. You know, this was a critical situation. You've got to get those outs. But like I had kind of said in the previous game, the fielding wasn't great. You know, the batting really wasn't great either. But just to see our guys kind of getting back into the groove of things, I feel like as Volunteer fans anyway, we're starting to get more confidence that, hey, we can win this thing today, and then we're going to come back tomorrow night and close it out.
First, they threw to Curley, a tough throw, too. They will throw behind the runner. That's close.
Man, that back pick right there by Cal Stark is ridiculous. He's been doing it all season. He's one of the best that I've seen do it. Very accurate. And again, Blake Burke, quick with that tag. He's got some really quick hands, especially for a big man. Love it.
There's no combo in the country that's better at doing that than those two.
I don't know how this is called safe out on the field because, I mean, you know, it's kind of a bang-bang play, but he's pretty obviously out, right? I mean, he tags him right on top of the head. Great job.
I think they got him.
Overturned to out.
Wow.
That was huge, too, y'all, because that was the third out. It got us off of the field. You see how everyone's fired up. That's what you want to see.
2 for 13 with runners in scoring position in game 1. In 3 games, 11 for 30.
Here comes that man, and I'm going to let this thing roll. I'm going to let y'all listen to what the commentators are saying about him. But again, another clutch situation with 2 outs. We're down. Y'all see the score is 0-1. We need this right now. Dylan Dreiling is that dude.
That ball is hammered, and that may end the 0. It is gone! Dylan Dreiling exits stage right, 22nd of the year, and the Vols finally break through to lead it 2-1. It was a fastball that came in at 94 and went out at a $1.05. Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball. 2-2. Curley hit that one on a line, and that one is into left field. Dean Curley's had a couple of...
So this right here is Dean Curley being very patient at the plate. For a true freshman, I think that he might have handled his at-bats better than anybody else. Beautiful, beautiful job. I mean, that's textbook of how you want to go up there and bat and make the pitcher work. But it's, you know, we see that it pays off for him. So for all of y'all, you know, younger players and all that's watching this, make sure that you pay attention to what Dean Curley did throughout this whole series. He wasn't always perfect, but as far as working a pitcher, working a count, I think that he did about as good of a job as he possibly could have.
Hit series last 2 times up. Freshman on a big stage delivers. Ball. 2-2 with 2 down. Whoa, look out. 2 down, top 8. That ball is driven to left field. He's watching, so is everyone else. It's out of here.
That was really big for Cal Stark. He had been struggling so much. You know, I saw some of our fans talking on social media, talking in message boards and things like that, that, man, maybe we should consider benching Cal Stark. Now, we all know that he's maybe Coach Tony V's favorite player, but they're really close. You know, he's a hometown favorite. I think that he's a fan favorite as well. But whenever you get into some of these moments, this is why, you know, we're fans and we're not out there coaching and we're not out there playing, because you can't just tighten up and, you know, just say, oh, well, we're just going to take him out, even though he was here the whole season and he's part of the reason that we are here now. I was so happy to see him get this home run, y'all. I cannot tell you how much. I mean, this is one of the, I mean, for sure, all these are, you know, some of the plays of the World Series. This is one of the plays of the year for me. Just so happy to see Cal Stark come through in the clutch and give us a little bit more of a lead versus Florida State in a game that we have to win.
Cal Stark, the 9-hole hitter, the catcher, hits his 11th and opens it up for the Vols. His first hit here in Omaha. And a little jam job on the infield. Charged, Antigua makes the tag. The ball came out, then he re-tagged the run.
So right here, okay, we've got Antigua coming in off of the bench, and you know he's playing at second base for Simo. This was a play that could have very easily been 2, but because of the way that Texas A&M's player slid when he's, I mean, you know, at least 30 feet or something away from second base, he's sliding to try to prevent us from turning 2, and he does kind of take that glove to the face. He might need stitches right there. That's part of the game. But I like the way that that we were able to just kind of stick with this play, even though the ball bounced out of our hands. We stick with it and we still get that out. So I think that was big. And this is a guy that's going to be back for us next season. So a lot to look forward to right there.
Sorrell, and he got him pretty hard.
All right, now on to game 3 versus Texas A&M. This one is for all the marbles, and I felt really good coming into this one, but at the same time, I was a little bit more nervous coming into this one than I was versus Florida State for the second time or versus North Carolina on that first game. So y'all let me know how y'all was feeling coming into this one. Please don't lie. Just tell the truth. Did you think that we could pull it off or not? Let's go ahead and jump into it.
He said, I have thought about winning a national championship almost every day for the last 3 years.
That ball is pulled down the line, and it is out of here. What a start for the Vols as Moore leaves the yard. It's 1-0 Tennessee.
That was really big because we keep on talking about it with SEMO. It seems like he kind of goes into these little, miniature slumps and all that, but he comes through when it counts the most, and he most definitely did that in this game, getting us off to a good start. Could not be prouder of the way that our guys came out and handled themselves in the most critical moments.
There is a little bit of that light tower power, and we've seen already from Moore in this series. He hit for the cycle.
Something else too, y'all. I just want to throw this out there because we see that the baseball team doing that like high jump up or, like whatever, that elbow bump, whatever. I feel like whenever Tennessee's teams are winning championships, we're doing something like that. Go back to 98, that high five that we used to do. We need to be bringing that back. I don't know why I have not seen it maybe since like Swain and them. I think that they did it like in the early 2000s, but we got to bring that back. I think that that's a really good look for our team. I think that it just brings up a whole lot of good energy. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to see that. If y'all know anybody up on campus, let's make sure that we try to bring that back to Knoxville.
Back up the middle. Moore will take it himself, go to first, and a pretty play.
That was a really nice play. We just saw that, Peyton was at this game. Coach Barnes was at this game. And, of course, Coach Josh Heupel was at this game as well. So all the stars were in town. There was some country singers up there too. But this is the type of stage that you play on whenever you come to the University of Tennessee.
Burke rips this one to the gap, and it's going to get over the head. And a double for Blake Burke to lead off the bottom of the third.
Well, that's another fastball that Tennessee gets the barrel to. The Vols got the leadoff man on in scoring position.
And here is Amick. Center field. And that is the base running beauty of what Burke just did.
So that was big right there for Billy Barrows because he had really been struggling like for the past couple of games. But to see him, even though he doesn't make it on base, he gets an RBI and he's helping this team out. I think that that was really big. And now we go up by 1 point.
The 1-2 to Ensley, and this one is over the head of Kent, served into right field. And a 2-out, 2-strike hit for Hunter Ensley. Keep the inning going.
2-strike hitting, 2-out hitting. I think that we might be one of the best teams, especially towards the end of this thing, in the whole country at that. Just being clutch. That's what I call it. A whole lot of clutch players stepping up when it counts the most.
Ripped, and that is past Kent. Ensley will put the brakes on. First bullpen arm in. A 2-out single. Hurley rips one into left field. Ensley in. Hurley, he is tagged out. But Dean Curley will knock in the third run of the game. Peyton Manning.
There they go.
Barnes, the hit.
There they go, right there. That's it. That's everybody, okay? That's the whole squad, man. That right there, it just feels good just to see that, man. It's nothing like being a volunteer.
Hoop coach there. Wait. Call for a strike. He tried it again. That's little low. Called strike 3.
Man, Xander went to work. Okay, I haven't talked a whole lot about the pitchers and all that, but Xander has been clutch for us throughout the entire thing. I know that most of y'all probably seen that graphic talking about, whenever we won the SEC tournament, whenever we won the SEC, all of these monumental wins, he was our starting pitcher. You want to talk about clutch? Being able to come out and pitch like that in the clutch is huge. And then with him being from Buford, Georgia, y'all know that I talk a whole lot about Buford on this channel. And, for him to be a Tennessee pitcher doing this, for him to be, one of our best guys, it just feels a lot like 98 to me. Y'all don't know how y'all feel, but I'm extremely confident with how things are going to be going for all sports for this entire university moving forward. A lot of it has to do with that man right there, Xander Sechrest.
Instead of that slider, it's a fastball down the middle. And popped up. He's running a lot. Grahovac still looking, and no one's going to get to that. And it's
Dylan Dreiling, 2-out hitting. For him to be able to kind of pop it up like that and it lands in no man's land, that's huge. He's just on fire. Sometimes you just can't miss. And That's where he's at.
Away, and that will allow Dreiling to hustle into second on the way to Sorrell. And he pulls it right at Burke, and he snared it. Right field towards the line. Laviolette giving it a run. He dives. It's off his glove. Curley to second. That's going to be a double. A diving effort from Laviolette, but Curley is on. Laviolette, high chopper. That's Moore. Who's at first? Burke. He got the foot.
I love that play because, as we had kind of talked about before in game 1 versus Florida State, I want to say it was like in that first inning. It might have been in that third inning, but there was a play almost, very similar to this one right here. The ball was almost hit in the exact same spot, and we didn't play it as well. Blake Burke kind of came up off of the bag, and he's trying to, play the ball instead of getting to the bag and letting the second baseman make the play and throw it to him. So we had kind of, gave up, a couple of bases right there just for that. But now we're playing it right, okay? We see that the ball bounces over Blake Burke's head. His teammates right there to back him up. And a beautiful job by Blake Burke getting over to first base and making this catch. And it was a really nice throw as well by Simo. I love that play.
What a play. And he smokes one into left, and that's the pitch Amick was waiting for. That ball is lifted deep to right. Sorrell is at the track.
Some more 2-out hitting, okay? Beautiful, beautiful work. Number one, seeing Billy Barrows getting on base. That was huge. Getting down to crunch time. It's 2 outs. And now we've got Dylan Dreiling doing it again, hitting us another home run in a critical situation.
A huge 2-run home run. And that is a big, big shot for clutch man Dylan Dreiling. Just over the leap of Sorrell. I don't think if Laviolette was there, he'd have a chance. He got that 3-1 pitch, got the single on the ground, past the dive of Kent. Country music folks also very involved. We got Morgan Wallen in the house. Their church was here yesterday. That ball is ripped to right center. This time Laviolette is there, and it goes off the wall. Bare hands, fires it in. Rounding and coming home. We got to play at the plate.
What a relay.
Safe it.
Wow. Okay. So first off, whenever I first saw that ball come off of that bat, whenever I first heard the crack of the bat, I thought the Tears had another home run. I was like, man, this thing is way over. And then I see, I see Inslee coming around third. I'm like, oh my God, he's out by a mile. But for him to be able to make this move, for him to be able to make this player, this catcher miss, that's crazy. I think this is another one. Like Inslee has a couple of plays. There's several players really to have a couple of plays, that we're going to look back on and say, was this the one that, maybe did it or what? But that was huge. That was unbelievable. Never seen nothing like that.
Missed the tag. 6-1 Tennessee. What an avoiding of the tag. Hunter Inslee. What a read to go inside.
Confirmed.
Kirby count out.
Yeah.
Vols. 1-1 to Camarillo.
And now, y'all, we just going to watch these pitchers go to work and close this doggone thing out.
That one is in the hole. Antigua's got it. He will fire.
That was a great stop by Antigua. He's going to be a problem in the infield next season. I hope that he will be back. But whether it's at short or whether it's at second, that right there could have gave up a couple more bases. It maybe even could have given up a run. But just for him to be able to make that stop, even though they don't get the out, I'll love to see that. He's got a whole lot of range.
Safe at first base. A diving effort by Camarillo and a terrific effort. Swings at the first one. And that's another 0-2. He chased. What a job by Cannell as he moved further and further away from the plate, and a huge second out. The most important number. Way outside. 1 and 2. Slider got him swinging, and look at the reaction from Kirby Cannell.
Everybody can feel it. Everybody can taste it at this point, man. Beautiful work right there by Kirby and by the defense.
On the Volunteers bench.
I'm going to pause it right here just to give you a little bit of backstory on this. So, we got Combs coming in. I believe that he had just pitched on the previous day. I know that he was very tired, extremely gutsy performance by him. A couple of times we're going to see some errant throws, maybe just kind of trying to do too much, or it might just be because he's too tired. But I love the way that he comes out here and finishes this ball game up for us. So hats off to him, hats off to this team, but we're going to let this thing roll out.
Homerless streak. 1-1. He gets the call.
I like the timeout right here. Calm your slugger's heartbeat down.
shallow in center. Here it comes, and trying to do the same. But first, Stark will have a word with him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They did stay upstairs. He got him to chase. Laviolette is gone, and that's a huge out for Combs. May have chased ball 4.
Yeah, and I like the approach.
He's late on that. As they allow Appel to head down to second.
That's a ball.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
So right here, you know, this was a situation where I don't really understand it, right? I mean, you see that it's 4-6, so we're up by 2 points. I mean, you know, I'm not the coach or anything. I don't know if this is what was called, but yeah, he didn't need to do this. It is a balk, and you can see Simos kind of walking over. Tell him, man, look, let's go get the runner at the plate, okay? Because there are 2 outs right now. Let's go finish this thing up.
There, and he will swing and a miss on the 0-2. High, and that will bring the run in to make it 6-5. Swing and a miss.
We'll pause it right there real quick, and then we're going to get to the celebration. But, man, how close was that? It was about to tie it up, and, you know, we're able to get that strike right thereafter. So that's huge. You can't make this stuff up. Like I said earlier on, you just cannot write a movie script any better than I feel like this season played out for our Volunteers. But let's take a look and a listen to the celebration.
And for the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball. They are the World Series champions. Everybody processes the moment differently, from Tony Vitello's dad to Kirby Connell to the team that just lost a nail-biter of a game. When I was younger.
Holy I'm on the I don't really know what happened the last pitch.
All right, y'all. So that's going to be it for this one. Let me know y'all's thoughts down in the comment section. Did I leave any plays off? Please let me know. Maybe we'll do a whole nother video on the plays that I did not put into this one. But thank y'all as always for sticking all the way to the end. And please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, family, and other Volunteer fans. We'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.